So this is an area that I refer to as the dead zone. And you can see that all the trees in this whole area are starting to die. You got this one's dead, that one's dead, all these half trees, and this long one that's dead on the ground. Another pine back there that's, well, that's completely dead now too. And last year, that's what I called this, was the dead zone. But this year I come out and I'm looking at everything, and you can see there's new growth everywhere. There's all these baby oak trees starting to sprout up everywhere. There's 3 there, 2 here. That one, look at how big that one's gotten. These are all just like 1 or 2 years old. All of these, and it's all throughout here. There's so many of them. That's a bunch of junk. But here's one. This one is doing pretty good. And I planted, these are some maples that I planted back here. But you got all these trees that are just dead. It's just dead. This stump, just dead. This big tree on the ground, just dead. Where is it? There we go. All just dead. That pine, that's actually probably still alive, but it looks like it's leaning and it's about to die. There's back there, that long skinny one, right there. That one's dead. There's no top to it. You got 2 more stumps right there where the tree broke off. You got that nice big oak, and I'm calling it big because it's big compared to all the rest of these that are out here. But you got this nice one right here. That one's, it's taller than me. That one's at least, whoops, I went a little high on that. It's like about at least, probably I'd say 6 or 7 feet tall. And you can see if you just look back in here, there's just oaks everywhere. Back there, there's one. There's just oaks everywhere in here. But you got all this dead stuff on the ground, so you got like this oak here that's growing, and it's got this log laying right next to it. So I'm going to kind of clean this area up so that the dead zone becomes the now alive zone, and we get some of these trees that are growing back in here. You know, this one. That was an extreme close-up of that because I'm standing right on top of it. But you can see all this dead stuff, and I'm going to try and clear some of this stuff out, cut up this tree that's laying on the ground, maybe try and get that stuff, this big branch that's moving somewhere, clear some of this stuff out so that this dead zone, all these, you can see back there, look, just all the oak trees back there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can see 12 just right behind these 2 big things, or big stumps. Now, they say you're supposed to leave some of those dead trees like that up for the wildlife. The woodpeckers will peck at it, but I'm not sure they still peck after the tree's completely dead like that. But they say to leave some of it. So this really thick one right behind me here, that one, I'll probably leave that so that just so I don't have to chop it down. And something might be living in there, chipmunks or squirrels or something. But those 2 back there, I'm going to knock down. This dead tree here, I'm going to knock down. That pine that's leaving, I might knock that down. And I'm going to get that one that's on the ground all cut up. And then I don't have a plan for what I'm doing with all the wood, where I'm going to put it. But we'll get this cleaned up as good as we can, and hopefully get this dead zone not looking so dead anymore. And yes, I use a battery-powered chainsaw. Nobody wanted me using a real chainsaw, so I'm out here, and there was work that needed to be done last year, and I used a Sawzall to do all the work I wanted to do because nobody said I couldn't use a Sawzall. And then as soon as people were like, well, how are you doing all this? And I'm like, with a Sawzall, and they're like, well, that's not safe. So then they said it was okay for me to use this. So yes, I had to get permission, not really, but kind of, to use the chainsaw because apparently girls can't use chainsaws. I don't know. Anyway, let's get cutting some of this stuff down. Well, that didn't quite land where I wanted it to. It hit that tree. I was hoping it to fall a little bit to the right of that tree, but it went down fine, so that's all that really matters. Didn't even need the chainsaw for that one. Could have pushed it over. Not this one. That one was so rotted that I literally didn't even need the chainsaw. I could have just pushed it over. But the worst part about having a battery-powered chainsaw is that the batteries die. And for whatever reason, this chainsaw, I don't know if it's true with all of them, this chainsaw, if it hits anything hard, like it starts getting hard to cut through whatever, if the wood's too hard or whatever, the batteries just kind of quit. And it's still showing, I don't know if you can see that, it's still showing 2 bars, but when you put it in here, it doesn't work. So I'm gonna have to go charge the batteries up, and that's the problem with having a battery-powered chainsaw. Although I can't physically start a regular chainsaw anyway, so this is the best option for me either way. But I got another battery. I don't know if it's charged. I'll have to go check and see if the other one's charged. We use it on the leaf blower to blow off the lawnmower before we pull it into the garage. So I'll go check that out, and then otherwise we'll come and we'll just try to clean this stuff up a little bit, and we'll have to do the rest of the chainsawing at a different time. Okay, so I can't really do too much right now with all this. I'm gonna have to go charge the battery, and it'll probably be too hot today to come back out. It's supposed to get almost 100 today, and it's already 11:30. So by the time I charge the battery and get back out of here, it's probably gonna be too late to do anything because it'll be way too hot to be working in long sleeves. So we'll cut the video short here. I will be cleaning this up, and we'll do a follow-up on this after I can do it in the AM when it's a little cooler, and get this cleaned up to make the dead zone not so dead looking anymore. If you like this kind of stuff, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you on the next one.